What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back with another review of Sistas. I know I've been MIA because I was under the weather, but your girl is back. We're here to review Season 9, Episode 12, and the episode is titled Search Party, okay? Let's go ahead and get right into it because we start this episode off with Danny and Sabrina. They're still at the restaurant. We have Aaron on the phone. He's trying to give them information about how Karen is missing, right? So they're like, what do you mean she's missing? What's going on? He tells them about the letter that she wrote. And, of course, their first instinct would be, oh, my God, where is Karen? Because this is not like her. This is not the Karen that we know. But then they also acknowledge, and I want to say it was Danny who kind of acknowledged that, the state that Karen has been in, she's not herself. She's not the usual Karen that we know. And honestly, I hope that this opens the eyes to the other ladies that Karen was really going through something and y'all low-key wasn't there for her. I just want to point that out. Okay, I get it. Everybody got their own lives. Everybody got their own stuff going on. But some of y'all who I expected to check on Karen didn't. Sabrina. I'm sorry, but you would have expected Sabrina to really do all the checking on Karen this season since she's been home with just baby Faith, because she seemed to be more involved out of the sisters in the pregnancy and care about Karen. But that's a whole nother story. They plan on meeting Aaron so that way they can, figure out a game plan on where to look for Karen. Moving on. Gary has popped up at Andy's house, right? And here's the thing. She doesn't want to see him. She's like, how did you get up here? I thought you were my food delivery. How is Gary Borders still able to get into this damn apartment, girl? You mean to tell me that you have not notified your apartment to say, hey, this man is a threat? This man is a problem. Do not let him up to my room? My apartment? Andy, what were you thinking? Tell me, I thought you were my delivery guy. Girl, you need more security. That's what you need. And I don't even mean this just because this is Andy and Gary is a threat. I mean, overall, how many times have we seen people just be able to come up to a penthouse of her complex? I'm trying to understand. It makes no sense. But you know what? Whatever. The man is here. He's saying that he's coming in peace. He only wants 5 minutes of her time. He just wants to talk to her. And she don't want to hear it, okay? However, we already know she gonna let the man stay up to hear what he gotta say, okay? He's trying to apologize to Andy. And I'm just like, okay, finally. Good riddance when it comes to Gary. It has been a long time coming. Gary should have been gone a long time ago. This is no offense to the actor who plays Gary. I think his name is Cheeto. Nothing against that man. I think he did a great job playing Gary Borders. However, Gary should have been gone a long time ago. All right? And I mean a long time. Then we got to suffer through these flashbacks. I said, no, hold on. What y'all not about to do with us, every damn episode moving forward, we get flashback scenes. Okay? We just had flashbacks of Karen and Zach not too long ago. Now we have to suffer through flashbacks of Andy and Gary? Who y'all gonna go to next? Please let me know. Preston and Danny? Are y'all gonna go back to Sabrina and Calvin? What is all these flashbacks? I guess. He wants to sit there and reminisce for a moment, and she's not interested in that. I'm like, okay, finally, Andy, you're sticking to your guns when it comes to Gary. Moving on from there, y'all, we got this situation with Fatima, Zach, and Chaz, who is pulled up outside of their house, okay? Now, is this man overstepping boundaries? Absolutely. However, Zachary Taylor, you have got to grow up and handle shit like a man. It gets to the point where both of these men are puffing their chests out, okay? And Fatima is telling both of them that they're wrong. Chaz, you don't need to be sending gifts to me. You know that I'm a fiance. And there is nothing more between me and you. You are a client and that's it. However, Zach, why the fuck did you take a meeting with this man knowing that you had no intentions of working with him? Okay? So, at one point, Fatima is trying to, separate them, tell Zach, like, hey, I got this. Zach still talking that shit. Listen, I really want somebody to fuck Zach up. I know I may sound crazy right now, but I feel like the way Zach be puffing his chest up, I'm just like, sir, I'm going to need for you to calm down. Like, seriously, there has been no growth with his character, and it pisses me off. It don't matter if we on Zatima or Sistas. When it comes to him being a hothead, I'm just like, sir, calm down. Like, I get it. This man is acting inappropriately, but the way you have handled this situation has been wrong, period. Okay? So, Fatima, she ends up trying to talk to Chaz while Zach, he goes and gets the purse that this man bought for her. Okay? Now, according to Chaz, he says that he came to check on Fatima. And here's the thing. Sir, you don't need to be checking on this woman. She has a whole fiance. Okay? Now, if anything, I'm just kind of surprised that Chaz didn't think that they were setting him up. And the reason why I say that is because there's no way this man is going to take a meeting with Zach. First of all, he did not know that Zach was her man, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think that he knew that Zach was her man. But either way, Zachary, your intentions were not to ever meet about any type of business idea with this man. And I wish that you would have just went on ahead and told Fatima, like, listen, I'm uncomfortable meeting with that man, especially considering he's sending you bags to the house. Because she didn't even know about the bag being sent to the house. Okay? Now, Chaz, like I said, has been dead wrong. This woman is not these regular chicks that you can just send bags to and all of that. Also, you're not pursuing her. You don't need to woo her. You are a client of her firm. And she's told you already, scoot back up off me. Okay, so you need to respect that boundary. But Zach, you literally took a meeting with that man, and in no way were you even trying to rectify the situation to be like, hey, before we even get started on this business plan, I just want you to know that I am Fatima's fiance. I don't respect the fact that you are sending her bags and all of this stuff. Could you please stop that? You could have easily said that. I think that man would have been way more receptive than how you acted at that goddamn juice bar. So now we in round 2, okay? But we do see Fatima tell Chaz, like, listen, this is only a work relationship. There's nothing more outside of that. And he does have to admit that, he kind of got a thing for Fatima. And she's like, well, you're going to have to go ahead and let that go. Like, there is no thing between me and you. And as she's saying all of this, here comes Zach. He kind of tosses the bag to Chaz, and Chaz calls him insecure. Now, is Zach insecure? Yes. Because the way he's operating is like an insecure man. It's not like a man who's like, hey, I need that man to cut that shit out over there because you already, you're taken, you're spoken for. He's not giving that, okay? So, Zach is over there still talking shit to Chaz, and he's leaving. And as he's doing that, keep in mind, Chaz came with a friend who got a gun. The guy flashes the gun to Zach. And Zach like, you think I'm scared of that? You think I'm scared of that? Nigga, you should be. I'm sorry. I cannot stand when we be having these storylines where people will pull a gun out on somebody and they be like, you think I'm scared of that? Nigga, you could die. You should be scared. The fuck? Like, I don't understand why we keep writing this on these TV shows. Are we okay? I don't get it. But nonetheless, that was pretty much what we saw from there. So we jump on over to Maurice. He's at home waiting on this white man to show up. Y'all, I cannot remember what Paige's brother name is, but he shows up, right? Every time I see this man walking around with this big black box, I keep thinking of Dick in a Box from that SNL skit with Justin Timberlake. Every time I see it, I'm just like, he's going to take the top off, and then Maurice is going to look in the box. But that's not what's happening. Nonetheless, Maurice is acting very nervous around this man, and I'm just kind of shocked because I'm like, this white man really doing it for you. Okay, Maurice. But moving on from there, we see Sabrina and Danny. They get to Karen's house, and Pam is there. So basically, while Aaron and Karen's mom, Lisa, that's right, Lisa, while they're out trying to find Karen, I guess Pam is at the house, just in case she come back. Y'all, here goes Sabrina. I don't have a good feeling about this. I want to punch Sabrina. I cannot stand when these characters say stuff like, I don't have a good feeling about this. Girl, we know. No shit. We need to find Karen. Okay? Like, I just feel like they be giving Sabrina some weak ass lines all the time. But nonetheless, Pam is trying to tell them that, Karen is fine. The baby's okay. Karen would not hurt the baby or herself. And they're just like, well, where is she, Pam? Baby, I hollered when Pam said, well, where is Andy? I said, you know what? Now that's a question that we all need an answer to, don't we? Considering Karen is supposed to be her best friend. Remember that, y'all? Yes, we got the sister circle, but as we all know, and we've been watching this show for 9 seasons, baby, it has always been Karen and Andy. Those were 2 best friends that were locked in, and Danny and Sabrina, okay? Nonetheless, it's like, oh, Andy's not answering her phone. Andy is one person who literally is an attorney who never answers her phone. I'm like, how the fuck does that work? You literally have money on the line. You have clients calling you. You got all the things, and you don't answer your phone. Not even for your homegirl's child, a mess. Nonetheless, at one point, they decide that they're going to pop up on Andy, right? Because they're like, maybe she went over to Andy's house. We don't know. All right, fine. All right, so we actually go back to Fatima and Zach. And he's like, why this man got my address? And why did he feel so comfortable coming up to my house? And first of all, she corrects him. It's like, first of all, this is our house, okay? Secondly, he's a celebrity, and also he can probably get information that most people cannot get, which is very true. Like, the way celebrities are connected, they can pretty much get anything that they need and want, even if it's your address, Zachary. But nonetheless, she tells him, like, listen, Chaz is a young player that flirts with everybody. Which I believe we've seen him flirt with, I can't remember her name, but Hayden's wife. We've seen him flirt with her a little bit. So she ain't really lying. And Zach is over here questioning if Chaz is disrespecting Fatima. Now, y'all, I would not call this exactly disrespect. Did he overstep boundaries? Yes. But he hasn't done anything to me that was, like, absolutely outrageous. Like, he hasn't touched her. He hasn't, sent her messages that were sexual. He hasn't done anything like that. He's just sending her gifts. You know what I'm saying? So, at this point, Zach tells her that if Chaz pops up again, he will pop him. With what weapon, sir? Or are you talking about with your hands? Because I'm trying to understand. You think that you're going to pop an NBA player? Do you hear how crazy you sound? And then he tells her to go inside the house. I said, whoa, Zach, chill out. So we move on, and basically we have Aaron and Lisa. They come back. Pam still ain't heard nothing from Karen, and they can't find her either. Y'all, why did Pam say that she thought that Karen was in the hood eating crab legs with baby Faith? Girl, what? Eating crab legs in the hood? What do you think this is? Y'all, who wrote that line? But nonetheless, she decides to go back to the salon. Aaron is over there stressed out because he feels like, Karen, this is absolutely inconsiderate. How could you do this? How could you just take our baby? Like, we have no way of contacting you. Like, this is crazy. And here's the thing. We got Lisa there. She's like, you can't bash her. Don't bash her. And I'm just like, girl, that man's child is missing. Like, it comes to a point where it's like, yes, we got love for Karen, but that's that man's baby, okay? And if we want to be honest, at this rate, it's more his child than hers, because she wouldn't even hold that baby for how many weeks now? Not trying to be mean, but you know what I'm saying. I think that it's absolutely crazy for you to be like, oh, but don't be so hard on Karen. Let's be honest. Y'all have coddled Karen. Y'all have absolutely coddled Karen to the point where y'all let her lay up in that bed not even attempting to help her nurture her baby. Okay? Let's not forget that. And y'all, I can't lie. This kind of brings me back to this thought. And I could be wrong. I have not had a child. However, you know how we've been talking about postpartum a lot. And it's definitely a term that was recently coined. People were not talking about postpartum. I think up until the early 2000s, I feel like that's when it became more talked about. But I think that the difference in why a lot of women probably did not even know that they were going through postpartum way back in the day was because the people around you, I don't think they let you have those symptoms. I think the people around you, whether it be your own mother who helped or whoever came to step in to help you with the baby, was probably just handing you the baby. Like, hey, hold your baby. Oh my gosh, the baby's crying. Pick your baby up. You know what I'm saying? To kind of help you realize that, hey, you have a baby now. This is a part of you. You have to go ahead and take care of the kid. And my thing with Lisa is that, baby, you have coddled Karen so much, and maybe it's because it's your only child. But girl, in this moment, that man's feelings are valid. If Karen did something to his baby, he got the right to lose his shit on her. I'm sorry, that's how I feel. So moving on from that, we see Maurice. He's having this conversation about coming out and how Paige's brother, he says that, he recently came out because he didn't really tell his parents what he was really feeling and going through, because I guess he tried to be straight for a little bit. That didn't really work out. He really was attracted to guys and the whole bit. So then we get to them making these vision boards, because I think that's what they were initially supposed to do, is make some vision boards. And he's asking Maurice all these questions. They were cute questions, trying to get to know him. But baby, next thing you know, they start making out. I said, oh, okay. I see you, Maurice. I see you. Y'all, I'm just trying to understand what happened to the boyfriend. Like, Maurice had a whole man at one point. And I really feel like they did not really develop their relationship how they should have, considering how much time they gave him and Q. But now we about to see him with this white man. All right, cool. Good for Maurice. Moving on. Y'all, Gary's still yapping. Gary is still going. And then we get more flashback scenes of the scene of his ex-wife getting shot. And then Gary tells us that he been in therapy. You mean to tell me that Gary Borders has made it to therapy before Andy Barnes? How does that make sense? Andy has needed therapy for years at this point. But no, she refuses to go there. Yet when Danny needed therapy, all the girls was like, Danny, you need therapy. You need to go to therapy. All you hoes need therapy, okay? So she ends up asking him, how did he become this person? Like, how did you become so, messed up? And basically, he became a supervillain, okay? Now, we quickly learn that this man is moving to Ghana with his kids, with an S. And I'm just like, why Ghana? I'm just curious. Why Ghana? No offense to that place at all, but I'm like, that's kind of random. Also, can you even leave the country? Don't he have some federal shit going on? Can he leave the country? You know what? I'm not about to worry about it. Good riddance, Gary, okay? Now the girls pop up, another group of people who don't need to buzz in at all. They just come right upstairs. Baby, Danny is over it. Danny spots that man and said, wait, who's here? Oh, hell no, okay? Gary apologized to the ladies, and Danny is looking at Andy like, bitch, you should know better, okay? Why is he here? So we jump on over to Zach. He answers his phone and he hears about Karen being missing. So then he decides to go on out and look for her. I said, boy, not you sitting up here taking a sip of a drink before you leave. Keep in mind, he been drinking all day. So I'm just like, is Zach still drunk? Or has that worn off yet? I'm just curious. But nonetheless, we go back to the girls at Andy's house. And Andy is explaining that Gary came over for closure. And Andy is like, well, how much closure do you need? Because this man, y'all keep going back and forth talking about you need closure, you got closure, and all y'all keep doing is keep getting closer, okay? Y'all need to scoot back up off each other. So Danny ends up telling Andy, like, listen, Karen is missing. Why did Andy say, how come I didn't know about this? Bitch, we telling you now. And the fact that you never answered your phone, please stop. So Andy, she feels like, she wanted to hear what Gary had to say, and it's nobody's business. So Danny is like, okay, like it wasn't our business she was messing around with Dr. Vaughn. You literally ditched us to go on a date. And she doesn't think that she got to tell them everything that's going on. Baby, you don't have to. You absolutely don't have to tell them everything, but your ass be lying like a motherfucker. And the way that you are literally lying about something that's like, we know that you a hoe. Your friends know you a hoe. They know that any man that come around and you sniff them out, you're going to try to lay next to him. We know this, Andy. But it's the way that you're operating. You literally left your homegirl hanging, who you know is grieving losing her baby. You literally left that woman's house so that way you could go see about a man. You're a fucked up friend. I'm sorry, y'all. I cannot stand Andy's character. That girl, she's a villain, okay? She is the villain. Gary ain't even the fucking villain no more. It's Andy. Andy is the fucking problem, okay? Like, girl, you've been lying to your homegirls left and right, saying you got work calls, saying that, I'm just going to grab a little dinner here and I'm going to head back to the office. Just bullshitting them. So Danny calls her out. She calls her out about all the lies that she's told. And also at the same time, she like, girl, all that lying and shit that you've been doing, it got everybody interrogated, especially me. Okay? It got everybody interrogated by the police. And Andy's response was like, oh, so you're Miss Perfect. Andy, you lack responsibility, and it's crazy. Like, you don't hold any type of accountability for the things that you've done and the shit that you've put people through. Okay? So Andy ends up bringing Karen back up, because she's trying to keep the heat off the back of her neck. Okay? And Andy's like asking all these questions about Karen. And then she's like, oh, well, I can make a phone call. I can call an officer personally. And I'm sick of her. Okay? Danny mocks her. And she's like, oh, are you jealous? Are you jealous because I can pick up a phone and call a man to help me out? Girl, are you crazy? She literally questioned Danny and said, is that difficult for you? As if Danny don't got a man of her own. Tony ain't shit, but Danny has a man. She's not concerned about that. The thing is, this is the thing that you always do, ho. You always sit up here and have to call a man. The same way how you did not know how to help the situation with Karen when she was in the hospital. You didn't know what the fuck to do. What was your first instinct? Oh, let me get on the phone. Let me make some phone calls. Baby, phone calls wasn't going to help in that moment. Same way phone calls ain't going to help right now. Andy, you're crazy, okay? And the fact that you tried to play Danny out, saying that she was jealous and that this was difficult for her, Danny fucking laughed. And I would have done the same. Like, she literally said, Andy, I knew you were a narcissist, but this is next level. Baby, I completely agree. Okay? Danny says that she's leaving, and Andy's like, oh, well, me too. Baby, Danny told her to drive by herself. I did laugh, though, when they were in that elevator trying to press the buttons. That made me laugh. But overall, Andy is such a shitty friend, y'all. My God. And the fact that Danny's trying to tell her, like, girl, you not being a good friend, you lying and shit, and for her to try to play in her face, I don't like that. So we move on, and Lisa, she's on the phone. It sounds like she's reporting to the police that, Karen is missing. Zach shows up, and Aaron tells Zach that, he smells like a bar. And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he do, because that man was drinking all day. Aaron ends up giving him the rundown about where they've searched for Karen and all the things. And of course, Zach, he doesn't believe that Karen will hurt anybody or the baby. And Aaron is like, listen, you ain't seen her in the past couple of days, okay? I've been here. I know how she acted. So at this point, they're trying to figure out Where could Karen be? Y'all, we get to this scene. We have the three ladies, because I forgot to mention, Sabrina was not at the apartment with Andy, but it was just Danny. But now all three ladies, they meet up in front of Karen's place. And Andy, she done parked her ass down the street. Baby, when Danny said, oh, of course, this way she could dip off and no one would notice. Baby, that shit was funny to me because that was so true, okay? And Andy, dumbass, gonna say, oh, well, I see Karen's car's there. No shit, Sherlock. We know that she left her car. So Dr. Vaughn ends up calling, and Sabrina was like, oh, put it on speakerphone. And she ends up telling him, like, oh, Karen is missing, and, do you think you know of any? Baby, he has no answers, okay? He don't know where Karen could be. He knows nothing about this. He can't tell you anything about what Karen got going on or what they've talked about. What the fuck is we worried about Dr. Vaughn? Girl, matter of fact, you should have even answered that phone call. You should have been like, you know what? I have a situation going on. I'm gonna have to call you back later. Okay? They all decide to go into Karen's apartment. All right, fine. We slide on over to Fatima, and she's in bed, and she ends up getting a phone call. She answers the phone, and y'all, it's Karen calling. I said, Karen forgot her phone. And you mean to tell me out of all the phone numbers to have memorized, she had Fatima number memorized? See, these writers on that bullshit. But y'all, that was the episode. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will talk to y'all in my next review. Bye, guys.